Buyers, sellers, what is going on in Vegas right now? Let's talk about the market a little bit and give you some insight onto both sides. So let's talk about it. So in Las Vegas right now, let's talk about sellers and buyers and what each side needs to know about the current market that we're in. So the first thing we got to talk about is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Is it a balanced market? You could do your own research and kind of check different sources to see what type of inventory on hand, as far as months of inventory on hand, they will say each market is. I would say with my experience, and this is my own personal opinion here in Las Vegas, if we are at 2 months or less of inventory on hand, then we are in a seller's market, and the sellers definitely have the upper hand. And then right around the 3 to 5 months, we're in a balanced market. Obviously 4 right in the middle is perfect, but 3 months, you're still leaning a little bit towards the sellers. And at 5 months, you're starting to lean towards the buyers. And then of course, 6 months or more, I would say we're in a buyer's market, and the buyers have the advantage for sure. Like I said, right now, we are at 5 months of inventory on hand here in Las Vegas. So we're right on the cusp of that 3 to 5 in the balanced market. And that is definitely leaning towards the buyers right now. So the buyers are starting to have a little bit more power in the negotiating. And we'll talk about that a little bit. So that's something that sellers need to know about as they put their house on the market. There are several things to consider. So right now, there's a few things as a seller that you need to know that you're competing with, I should say, right? So the first thing is cancellations. Right now, Las Vegas is number 2 in the country in contracts being canceled, sitting at about 10%. We are second only to, I believe, Atlanta right now. So that's kind of what my research and the different sources I've looked at is showing, that Atlanta has been number 1 in cancellations and Las Vegas is number 2, sitting at 10%. So 10% of all of the homes that go under contract are getting canceled before they close escrow. So as a seller, that is something you need to be aware of. Now there's another thing you need to be aware of as a seller that you are competing with, and that is new homes. So obviously, I think a lot of people would prefer a brand new home over a pre-owned home. So that's always going to be a challenge, and especially when there's a lot of construction. And there definitely is a lot of construction here in Las Vegas. The other thing as a seller you've got to be concerned with as far as new homes go, with new homes, there have been 25% of new homes have had reductions in prices. Pre-owned homes sit at about 18% reductions on the market right now. So it looks like as far as that competition goes with sellers of pre-owned homes, the new home builds have been dropping their prices on more of their models than people that are already in their homes trying to sell them, the pre-home or the pre-owned home market. So that is something that you're competing with. Now also with new homes, because they're trying to get those sold, a lot of them are offering a lot of different incentives to buyers. So they may be offering 0 down payment. They may be offering, they can buy down the interest rate for the loan, either in the beginning terms of the loan or maybe for the entire loan. Also, if the home hasn't been built yet, they may be offering different options and different finishes that the buyer can decide on as the home is being built. So as a seller in this market right now, that's kind of what you're competing with. You're competing with cancellations, right? That's a rough one. And that could be several reasons for that. It could be they're not getting the financing, or maybe they're pulling out because they think the market is going to continue to go down a little bit or go more in favor of buyers. So you're competing with the cancellation of contracts, you're competing with the reductions that new homes are doing, and you're also competing with the incentives that those new homes can give out because they are using their own lenders, their preferred lenders, to give these kind of deals and these incentives to people that are buying homes. As a seller of pre-owned homes, yeah, you can offer different kind of concessions to try to help out. But as far as interest rates and stuff like that, I suppose you could buy those down as well for the buyers. But that's a lot of stuff that sellers of pre-owned homes really don't want to do. So as a seller, I say that right now you should price your home right at or just below market value, because it has been coming down ever so slightly, and that will keep you competitive as far as prices go. And then also just kind of in the back of your mind, be aware that you may have to do some reductions, because whenever a home doesn't sell, the biggest reason is because of the price. That is the biggest reason a home doesn't sell. It is not priced right. So it's very important that you price it, like I said, at or just below where the market is right now. And also be aware that you may have to come down a little bit, even though you may not be super comfortable with that. So you've got to decide as a seller, is there a certain amount of money that I have to make to sell this home? Or do I need to get rid of it for other reasons? I'm downsizing, or maybe I can't afford it anymore, or my life is changing in some way and I have to get rid of this home. So you have to decide, do I want to get rid of my home, or do I have to sell that home, right? And that's going to help you kind of make the decision about what you're going to be able to do as far as adjusting your price and stuff like that. So that's definitely something you got to think about as a seller, because you are up against these other challenges with new homes, with the market, with cancellations, with the balanced market swinging towards buyers now as opposed to sellers. Now, of course, that can change at any moment, but that's how it is right now. So that's what you've got to be aware of as a seller in today's market of a pre-owned home. Now, I'm not discouraging anybody from getting out there and trying to sell their home. I think if it's something you need to do or want to do, or if you're in a great position to do it, it's a good time. Again, as long as you're priced right, it will sell. So make sure that you are considering all the things that I've just talked about. Now, on the other side, for the buyers, you are starting to get into a great position as far as negotiating power for homes. So make sure that when you're out there looking for your homes, that you understand that there are options, right? There are pre-owned homes, there are brand new homes, there's a lot of incentives with the new homes. There may be incentives with pre-owned homes as well. But keep in mind that if you see a house that you like and maybe you think it is a little higher price than you would like to pay, I would still encourage you to put in that offer for the home at what the value you think is of that home, or what it means to you, or what it would be for you to be comfortable with buying it. A lot of times you might see the price and just say, oh, that's too high, I'm not even going to worry about it. I would say, as a buyer in today's market, go look at the home. If you are interested in the home, from the pictures, from the location, from whatever it may be about that house that you like, if you're interested in it, go take a look at it, tour that home. And if you're still interested in it, I wouldn't be afraid to put in an offer that may be a little lower than the listing price of that home. And then let your agent and their agent do some negotiating, right? Let them get together, communicate with each other, talk about it, figure out what they can get to work for both sides. Now, it may not work, right? A seller may decide they don't want to sell it for below list. A buyer may decide that they're going to come in super low because they can't afford anything else, and they might not be able to meet in the middle, right? So that could happen. But if you're out there in the market right now looking to buy a home and you find something that is a little higher than you think it is worth, I wouldn't be afraid to put in a lower offer. Now, you don't want to lowball somebody. That's probably not going to help you at all. That's not something that you would like as a seller, right? For somebody to come in super low on a home. But I'm just saying, don't be afraid to put in offers that may be a little bit lower than the list price, because there is room there for negotiating in most instances. So that's just a little bit of insight for buyers and for sellers right now in this market here in Las Vegas, and kind of where we're at as far as sellers and buyers market, which way we're leaning towards. Again, we have about 5 months of inventory on hand as of today. I think within 1 mile of my house, right now I'm in my home office, within 1 mile of my home here, I think there are 125 homes for sale within 1 mile of my house. So there's a lot of inventory out there right now. And like I said, about 5 months worth of inventory. So we are starting to lean towards that buyer's market, but we're still kind of in the middle. So it could kind of swing either way depending on what happens with demand and with interest rates and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that could have an effect on changing that. But as of today, that's where we're at. I just wanted to give you a little insight about that. So if you're a buyer or a seller, please take some of this information, do your own research so you make sure that you get the information that works for you in your life right now in your circumstances. And as far as buying, I will tell you the same 3 things that I say all the time, right? If you can qualify for the loan, you can afford the payment, and you do not see a change in your income, I think it's always a good time to buy. You may have to negotiate and you may have to look around, but I think you have a great opportunity to get a home that you will really like and get on that home ownership journey if you haven't been on it before. So my name's Chris Franke. If you have any questions about real estate at all, please get in touch with me. I would love to just share my knowledge with you, give you the most information that I can so you can make the best decisions in your life. I keep on hitting this microphone, so it's probably going to be loud on there. But if you have any questions at all, please reach out. I would love to help you out, whether I can help you buy or sell or just answer questions. I would love to do that for you too. We're in Las Vegas right now. That's a little bit of a look at the current market. And I will be talking to you soon, so have a great day.